The leach field, also referred to as a drain field, receives the wastewater from the septic tank. This section of the septic system consists of a network of perforated PVC drain pipes, crushed stone, and a layer of unsaturated soil. Wastewater generally flows from the septic tank to the leaching bed by gravity. The wastewater then enters the leaching bed, flows through the crushed stones, and infiltrates into the receiving soil. This final filtration step involves bacteria and other microbes that further treat the wastewater before it reaches the water table. This natural purification principle prevents groundwater contamination. A well-maintained weeping bed should last at least 25 years, but it may be shorter or longer depending on a few factors. Most leaching fields fail due to biological or hydraulic overload. Hydraulic overload occurs when too much water is sent to the septic tank. Biological overloading occurs when too much organic material reaches the leaching field. As a septic system owner, you must be very careful about what you discharge to the wastewater treatment system. The leaching bed uses aerobic bacteria on the receiving soil to purify the wastewater before it reaches the groundwater. These bacteria break down organic matter and also help eliminate viruses and reduce nutrients in the wastewater. When your leaching bed is in good working order, the wastewater from your home is well treated before being returned to the water cycle. However, clogging in the leaching bed interferes with this process, resulting in inevitable environmental pollution. As the wastewater flows through a leach field, a black gelatinous layer develops under the distribution lines. This layer is actually a biomaterial sludge called BIOMAT. Since the BIOMAT is watertight, it greatly reduces the percolation of effluent into the soil. This BIOMAT is usually composed of organic matter and anaerobic bacteria that attach to the soil and crushed stone. These bacteria feed in the organic material in the effluent. BIOMAT is not normally harmful to the system. On the contrary, it helps to further filter the wastewater by slowing down the infiltration rate and retaining the organic matter before the water enters the soil. However, an imbalance in the growth of BIOMAT can cause serious problems. The more the black gelatinous sludge accumulates in the trenches, the more difficult it will be for the wastewater to infiltrate and then percolate into the soil. Even a small hydraulic surcharge can cause sewage backups and potentially spills. When sewage backs up, it will always flow to the location that offers the least resistance. This may be where the earth fill of the leaching field is, through the septic tank lids, or even inside the house. The most obvious sign of a failing leaching bed is, of course, the overflow of wastewater to the surface. If the receiving soil in the leaching bed cannot accommodate any more water, the effluent will rise to the surface of the soil or, in some cases, flow out the end of the trenches. The main reason the effluent stops flowing is because too much BIOMAT is being produced. Here are some signs to look for to see if you need to unclog your leach field. Before the drain field stops working completely, you may notice that the water is draining more slowly through the house. Septic tank odors can be present near the leaching field or inside the house. If there is no space left in the septic tank, the wastewater will back up through the opening or into your home. If you notice an abnormally high water level in the septic tank, it is almost certain that your leach field is at fault. If you notice taller, greener grass where your leach field is located, it is an indicator that your leach field is not functioning properly. If you notice puddles on the field, it is possible that a hydraulic overload has caused the water to rise to the surface. With a clogged leach field, the pressure is causing the water to rise. If you notice that the soil is abnormally wet where the leaching bed is located, it is also an indication that the leaching bed is no longer functioning properly. You should attempt to repair your leaching bed as soon as you notice a problem with the system. Otherwise, the problem can get worse and cause wastewater overflows. These overflows are dangerous for you and the environment. Furthermore, it is forbidden to pollute the environment, and the local authorities could force you to replace your septic system. There are several solutions to try to solve this problem, but the fastest, simplest, safest, and most economic is without a doubt the one proposed by BioSol. Biosol offers shock treatments designed to specifically treat organic matter accumulation problems. These shock treatments are 100% ecological and therefore safe, and you can do them yourself. The products used for shock treatments contain bacteria and enzymes specifically selected to eliminate waste found in septic systems. The addition of a high concentration of these bacteria and enzymes is usually sufficient to break down the organic matter that has accumulated in the leaching bed and unclog your leach field. This reduces the amount of sludge in the field and allows the wastewater to infiltrate much more easily into the soil. And there you have it. Your septic system is working again. Otherwise, the septic system must be replaced. If you choose to replace your leaching bed, you will most likely have to replace the entire septic system. You will need a new percolation test and an evaluation by a qualified engineer. If you can use a conventional septic system, it will cost you between $5,000 and $12,500. However, if you need to install an advanced system, the replacement will cost you much more. Replacing a septic system is very expensive. That's why we strongly encourage you to try to solve the problem first by opting for one of the proposed alternative solutions. Biosol offers, once again, the fastest, simplest, safest, and most economical solutions. Get a discount on a shock treatment by accessing our promo page. Click below to save up to $150.